So even though I kind of have an idea of what the route looks like now, the problem is how can this without destroying all those good friends that we've met along the way. These I was gonna say frenemies, but they're just enemies once again. I keep trying to be like, well, no, they're friends, but they're not. They're, underlings of the Shake King, that vile monster who is our enemy, and definitely not, something that Wario would aspire to be. Well, would Wario aspire to be the Shake King is a good question. And one I would say probably not, because while the Shake King has treasure and has legions, Wario's never seemed to be much like a follower guy. Like, Wario took over Mario Land in Mario Land 2, but like, Wario didn't, contract the armies of that place. The thing says that he used an evil spell or something to make the denizens of Mario Land, fight against the Mario. But who's to say that the manual is correct? There's such things as liar narrators. That's what they're called. Unreliable narrators is what fools call them. True scholars call them liar narrators because they forget the word unreliable. And then just have to wing it. So, perhaps the manual is an unreliable narrator. And, when Wario came and put his foot down and took the Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins, when he did that, perhaps the denizens of Mario Land were like, oh, damn, we've been freed. The liberator Wario is here, and he has freed us from the cruel reign of the stupid Mario. And then, the people rose up, but then the stupid Mario showed up and stomped them all and got all 6 golden coins. But then Wario defeated the Mario, so it's fine. Peace was once again restored to the Mario Land, and all was good, and then video games continued to happen. Even if Nintendo, for whatever reason, continued making games as if, Wario had lost, because, when the opening of Wario Land 1, he's looking for, like, a castle, which, may be portrayed as Wario looking for a new castle after having lost, Castle Day Mario, aka Castle Day Wario, because, he had done a fine job redecorating it to be a Wario-themed castle. But, perhaps, Wario was just like, hey, I could use another castle, because, oh, I forgot to move the damn thing out of the way again. Should I just go ahead? Yeah, let's just go ahead and restart. We're in the thick of it. This is what trying to complete this game looks like. You just end up restarting a bunch of times. Now, I could break this up into a second run, in which we just escape now. With time, get the money and not worry about the enemies, and then make a second run at enemies, which I might do if this ends up being really, really hard. But sometimes difficulty is the spice of life. Sometimes you love to walk outside your apartment and immediately get kneecapped. Sometimes I hire my neighbors to just stand outside of my apartment with golf clubs and just to, hit me in my fragile, weak knees. They're just, my knees, no joke, I got like early onset arthritis, so they're bad. So, sometimes it's just like, hey neighbors, hit me where it hurts. I want to have a tough day today. Because, sometimes you need sometimes the tough days aren't tough enough. Sometimes just living in this modern hellscape is too easy. And you need people to bring you down a couple pegs. You need them to bring you down a couple pegs so you can feel like you're a human being again with the difficulties and trials of being a human. Okay, now that we made it past that super part, I need to pay attention so we can. Oh, I need to jump off that flower. Okay. I'm learning slowly, and I've already devolved into shouting about paying people to commit crimes on me. So probably not a great first look at what the rest of this could potentially be. But it's fine. I do wish that banded wasn't there, though, because now every time we restart, we gotta move them, because unfortunately, enemies respawn whenever you leave the room, so whenever you reactivate a checkpoint, they will do it. I'm just going to go ahead and run out a bit farther than I'd been running out, because I'd been like, oh, well, I need to, optimize this, and I need to just not run out very far, but, we got to run out far. Okay, so this one, I need to pay attention, because we're going to run, jump. Oh, but then we'll stop there, so we should probably jump off that first flower, which will maybe make us land on the dead one, either that or land on the one before the dead one, in which we could jump again. We'll work it out. We're going to figure it out. I gotta move the banded because the stupid banded would be in the way. We would destroy him, and it would be sad. And you know what? I've decided. I was kind of like hemming and hawing. Is that what you say? Going back and forth on like, oh, if this is rough, I guess I could just finish it, and then we could do a run where we don't defeat the enemies. But I'm not a coward. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep doing I'm gonna keep beating my head against the wall until we do it, because that's what us gamers do. Us gamers, we love smashing our heads against the wall. That's why video games such as the Dark Souls, which are completely unfair and not designed really well, and sometimes they have elements that are unfair in them, and but it's not like the creator of Dark Souls has gone on record multiple times to say, hey, we were trying to make the hardest video game ever because that's what Dark Souls is, and not the difficulty was just a weird side effect during design and or anything like that. No, they intentionally tried to make the most difficult video game ever and succeeded, and there's never been a video game harder than the Dark Souls 1 other than the Dark Souls 2. I did this wrong because I was trying to make a dumb joke about Dark Souls, which, if y'all don't know about Dark Souls, it's a video. Well, if y'all don't know about Dark Souls, it's tough, but it wasn't designed to be like a super tough game. It was just a weird thing that I guess happened, and then it was strange because it got the moniker. That's the word, not monkey ear. I was trying to remember it. I remember the spelling, but not the pronunciation. The moniker of being this really tough game, and they adopted that prepare to die, well, there was a version of the game, but also that kind of tag became a thing. And then in Dark Souls 2, they kind of adopted it with oh, you're gonna die so many times, idiot. But I couldn't jump there. I'm not sure if that was just me being bad at timing. So instead of trying to jump off that first flower, I'll instead jump off the cliff before we fall. And this is great because this is only the second room. We still have so much more to learn. Might end up having to do a cut, but I will. If I cut, I will not cut. I will fast forward. Because I'm not going to chicken out on this, and I'll show y'all the full thing. Well, I suppose I could actually just cut ahead to the successful run that ends up working, but that's not the point. We're here to do a thing. But yeah, Dark Souls wasn't actually designed to be the super tough game, but then it just got that weird epitaph. That weird cult following around of oh, it's such a tough game, and it is hard, and I do enjoy the difficulty of the video game, but it wasn't made to be. Oh, we can't even jump there, or else we'll just immediately fall on that drill dozer and just smash his ass into 1,000 pieces, and by that I mean we step on him and he goes flying off the screen, because that's what enemies in this video game do. So don't defeat the enemies. I said at the beginning that I find it to be an interesting thing that changes up the way you play the video game. And perhaps trying to combine these, even if it is technically possible, probably not the thing I should be doing. Oh, whoops, that was bad. I'll give it a go. We're going to mess up anyway, so I might as well as just, give it the old college try, because we're only on room 2 of... Well, I don't actually know how many rooms there are, so I can't be oh, room 2 of 10. Okay, I hit the jump. Okay, so there we go. I can jump there. I just jumped out of it first time. Okay, so what do we got to do here? We run. There's a Scaracuda. The Scaracuda is going to be... How do we get past the Scaracuda? So I guess I suppose we do need to keep running. So what is our time? We're trying to get out under 145. So how can we get past the Scaracuda without killing it? Because we need to jump. But the problem with jumping is we hit this. I suppose if we hit this, we run up here. We can't even hit that, because if we hit that, the max velocity dash rate, or if we hit that, the banded arrow will be in our way, and then we'll have to get him out of the way. Oh, actually, what the hell are we going to do with all those guys on the ground anyways? We're going to have to figure out how to jump over them. That's probably going to be the linchpin to figuring this out, because that seems to be the room that's going to be the tough one, now that we figured out the stupid flower jump. And once again, that's room 3. Room 3, is that room 2? Hey, numbers unimportant. The important thing is we're going to figure this out together. We're going to work this out. Now, I could, look up and see how people do this. But like I said, I'm not a coward, and if I'm just going to cowardly look up how people... Oh, I didn't do my jumps. I was, that was just bad. If I was just going to cowardly look up how people do it, then I might as well as just do the one run. Do time, money, and then split the enemies into a separate one. But, splitting the enemies into a second one goes against the heart of what I want to do here. Because the heart of what I want to do here is do it in a single run. And like I said, I think I said it in the second episode or whenever. I really like the idea of doing one perfect run for a level, even if it makes it more difficult than just taking the time to play the level a second time. Just because that's the way my brain works. I just I want to check off all the things in a single run of the video game. And sometimes that makes the level a little bit... Oh, I jumped on the wrong one. I was I'll just start hammering the jump button so I can jump immediately. And then you can't if you hit the jump button while you're still on the ground, you jump. It's a strange side effect of playing a video game. And oh my god, this is the first level, and I didn't bump off the thing. It just dawned on me that we still have a second level. And y'all, the second level, well, I was gonna be like, it's a doozy, and like try and like conceal it in some way from you, but you see the thumbnail, you see the name of the video. It's a Subwalreen level. We still have Subwalreen, and what are we like? How far into the recording is it? I don't know, because there's a cut in there, but it's coming up on like, I didn't move the damn thing out of the way. It's coming up. Oh, I was gonna say it's coming up on 30 minutes, but it's like 24 minutes, and then there's just set up in there. I was gonna throw him out of the way, but that'd probably destroy the abandoned arrow. There's set up in there. There was the cutaway to get back to the thing whenever I missed up the coin. So who knows how much is Well, that was new. At least we messed up in a new and fun way. A unique, variety, spice of life, uniqueness. I need to remember to remove this stupid abandoned arrow. Whoever put this abandoned arrow here was a jerk. This is just mean. Why did you put the abandoned arrow here? I want to do the level mission. I gotta remember to move the stupid guy out of the way every single time. Oh, and Wiimote not shaking. Even though I was shaking it. Just the Wiimote wasn't registering it for whatever reason. Perhaps I was like shaking it at a weird time during the cutscene, and then it wasn't registering my shake. Oh, no, I did the thing again. Interesting. Or perhaps, I just wasn't shaking the Wiimote enough to make it register. Well, the Wiimote is so old. Like, the Wii came out in 2006, so as of this recording, Wiimotes are like 13 years old. Like, granted, this is a Skyward Sword one, so this is probably the oldest or newest. I've done this before. This is the newest Wiimote I own, so I got it in like, when did Skyward Sword come out? 2011, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 2011, near the end of the year, November 2011, I believe. So this is the newest one I have, 8 years old, but that's still an 8-year-old like remote. Like, I mean, I guess some TV remotes are like super old, like you just keep a TV forever. So perhaps that's not strange, but I didn't do it. I was hitting the button and I was like, why am I not jump? That jump is strange. So I don't think it's the remote. I don't think the remote's causing me issues. If we were doing like difficult like actual motion control stuff, like this game's entire like gyrometer like stuff. We don't have to point, which would be difficult with my current setup. I have a motion bar thing. Oh god, there's a name for it. There's like the Wii motion bar. There's one you can buy online that's just like that plugs into your computer with like USB, which like lets you easily hook up Wiimotes to like your computer, which is what I'm using. And pointing with that thing at that thing can be a little difficult just because it's finicky with like the placement. I jumped on the wrong one. So pointing with that was a little difficult, and I believe I had some trouble with that when I LP'd Skyward Sword, which I also emulated. But like the motion control on the original Wiimote, even with Wii Motion Plus in the Skyward Sword one, and I think I actually have another Wii Motion Plus one. So that one actually, now I think about it, it's probably my oldest one because I didn't have a Wii Motion Plus before Skyward Sword, and then I must have bought another one. Oh, I bought another one when Nintendo Land came out. So I actually have a black Wiimote that's probably my newest one. Whoops, sorry, Skyward Sword one. Throwing you in the garbage, just so I could have two to play some Nintendo Land games. Because I thought Nintendo Land was pretty fun. Nintendo Land, a lot of people got mad about it, but I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And oh, there we go. And finally, we can get back to figuring out the room that's actually going to be rough. Okay, so Scarracuda. No. Okay, so what are we going to do with the Scarracuda? What could we possibly do to deal with this? Can you slide jump? I'm not sure if you can slide jump now I think about it. Let's try that, We'll just give it a shot here in this video game. And I'm not even going to move the guy out of the way because I'm not concerned. I have no concern. This is going to end up being like, well, I was going to say it's going to end up being the longest episode of the series, isn't it? But maybe it'll be the longest episode of the series thus far. But I mean, we have some crazy stuff of doing some post game stuff here. So yeah, you can like slide jump, but it's not like it's like Wario's taking up less room. Although what I was thinking of was maybe if we slide jump. Okay, my thought process was maybe if we slide jump, we can kind of like short hop over the Scarracuda, get over it, and then not hit the rope. That was my thinking on that. I'm not sure if that'll work. But once again, now we have to get past the Venus Skytrap problem to figure it out. Oh man, I just realized how I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to edit it by cutting all of this out and putting it in a separate video. And I'm sorry I'm saying this out loud, but I'm just we've hit this point where we're figuring this out together. we're just going to sit here, and I'm going to talk through this entire process, even though I probably shouldn't, because I wanted to record some other things today. By other things, I mean more of Wario. I mean, I guess there was something else I'd like to record pretty soon, but irrelevant. I wanted to record a bunch of Wario because I've been itching to play. I've been so itchy. I've been wanting to play, some Wario Land Shake It. I've been having a lot of fun with this game because, surprise, surprise, I do enjoy this video game. And I was like, oh, I'll record a bunch of it, but then I'll be like, by the end of this episode, I'll be like, oh no, I'm dead because I talked too much in the ropey jungle because my dumb ass couldn't figure out how to deal with the Scarecouda. Okay, so now we're going to slide, jump. Nope, that doesn't work the way I would like it to. What are we going to do here? Because I don't think the answer is to just jump on the rope. Jump on the rope and then, move on. Like, maybe this is harder than I thought. Well, A, obviously is harder than I thought it'd be. B, I think I figured it out. What we got to do with the Scarecouda is the same thing we have to do with basically every issue we have with running, and it's we just got to lead our jump. We can't just we can't just react. We have to. Oh no, that's not far enough. And I'll just go ahead and that's not worth a reset just yet. One messed up turn because we still have a lot of distance to cover, a lot of things that we're probably going to screw up a whole bunch of times. See, like I just messed that up, and it's fine. At this point, let's figure out the Scarecouda. Yeah, I just got to jump early. If we jump early, it won't be an issue now. I'm just going to continue onwards. Is there any other issues? There's two boys here. We can easily jump over them. Okay, we need to not jump there. Okay, we're figuring it out. I think I got it. We just got to lead our jump for the Scarecouda, and it won't be an issue. Then we have to jump probably at the last second to get over the Bandonero and the Nose Dozer in the Scarecouda room. And then it might... I don't think it's going to be easy sailing from there, because past there we have to get... there's the silver coins and the gold coins behind the metal blocks that we need to break to continue onwards, have a good time. Having a good time, shooting star leaping through the sky, I don't think he says I am a tiger. I am a tiger. I am a tiger. See, it doesn't matter. We're here. I'm gonna jump here. Nope, I didn't jump. I pushed the button. Maybe it's because I pushed the button, but I didn't. Maybe my brain is just. I'm thinking like when you push the button, it goes down, but maybe it's releasing the button that doesn't. I'm learning a whole lot about my body, and by that I mean my hands and a controller. Okay, I'm gonna push down, and no, I didn't let it go, but I pushed the button, and it immediately goes. So I've learned nothing today. When you push the button, the thing happens. It's not a release. It's the pump. It's the pump that matters. It's the same as what Arnold Schwarzenegger says, like the weightlifting, where he's like, "Oh, the pump, good." But you pretend I said that in a funny like Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, and it was really good, and then you laughed because it's like the 1980s, and just doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice is still inherently funny because it's the 1980s and not 40 years divorced from when just doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice would have gone, oh yeah, oh, I jumped way too early and we destroyed that Scarecouda. Actually, I'm just gonna turn around. I'm gonna jump. Oh well, I guess I was gonna practice jumping over those boys, but I can't really because they'll be out of position. So we'll just jump here. I need to jump over those. We jump here. Let's get some practice on the end of this. So maybe we gotta turn early. Here I don't think it matters where we turn because we just come down here. We jump. Yeah, and I think the end of this isn't all that rough because then we just collect the coins. And I'm not moving the D-pad. We jump here. We get the diamond, and it's just like, yeah, we're just right here. So I think we'll be good. And we're out of time, but I'm gonna be so sad if we get here and we're past time. If we get here without destroying any enemies, I am just gonna take the L and just accept it because I would like to do this in a single run, but if I just cannot get here in the amount of time I need, I'm just gonna go ahead and accept it because I don't think I'm gonna polish this to the point where I'm moving fast enough. But at the very least, we are going to do this. Well, wait, if we're doing this fast and we don't defeat any enemies, then I might as well have just gone slow and not defeated any enemy. Well, let's say, so the logic is sound because the idea is, what I'm trying to say is, if I get there and I haven't, and I'm over time, I've taken too long, then I may as well have just gone slow and done this because I gotta do this in one run. I'm going to perfect it. I'm gonna figure this out we're going to do this together. This is just going to be a secret little hidden video in this series where I just spent forever in this one level, and who knows? Maybe this will turn into a regular thing as we get into these, more difficult levels where and I guess the thing is, on most levels this won't be an issue because there's not too many levels where you can do it in a single run. In fact, there's some I have written I jumped on the wrong one. I have some written in my notes where like, oh, this can be done in one run, but I don't think I'll be able to do it. This was not one of them. This one's just like, yeah, one run, no problem. But here we are, 34 minutes. It's been 10 minutes since I last checked to see, like, boy, this is sure taking a while, huh? And yeah, buddy, it is. It's taken a good long while, and since we're in the forbidden special part of the video that nobody's gonna see unless they really care, which, hey, thanks for caring. Thank you for being a friend. I think I'm gonna take a drink of water after this next failure, just because, getting a little thirsty. I'm also getting a little hungry. Nothing I can do about that one, though. That one is a problem I'll have to solve after recording. I mean, I guess I could walk away and take a break and then figure that out, and we'll jump last second. We're over those boys. Okay, so we're in the game now. Got my thinking hat on. That's a shame. That's a big shame. Okay, well we're still gonna continue just to see what kind of time I'm looking at here, because I'm starting to feel like I don't think I'm gonna be able to perfect this because we got to get here in under 145, and I don't really know how to speed up what I've been doing, right? Because I jump here, we get here. See, I've missed out on that. How do we do this any faster? This is possible in one run. Maybe. Where am I going wrong here? We never stopped running. I mean, okay, so I suppose... Oh, I'm going to take my drink of water. Hey. That's so cool that I just, get to stop and take a drink of water in the middle of a recording like that. It's great. It's so good. Because when I start recording, it's like the second I hit that record button, my mouth gets so dry. So I always take I take a little sippy before I start a recording. So I'm gonna get my mouth wet and get some water, and then it's just as soon as I'm hello, it's oh no, I'm a literal desert man. It's me, Sir Crocodile from One Piece. Is Sir Crocodile's first name Sir? I think his first name is Sir. I jumped on the wrong one. Oh, but we saved it. We're learning. Okay, so we've made the jump over that. We still have 20 seconds to go. We jump here. Gonna hit jump. Oh, you hate to see that one. If I land on that Venus guy trap, we might be able to just run off of it. So I just need to have strats for how to deal with those two boys. We've through the power of muscle memory have kind of nailed the Scaracuda room down. I'll say that, and then probably consistently screw it up 400 more times. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. I feel like the Scaracuda room, which once, seemed impossible in my mind. I was like, how the hell are we going to do this one? We figured it out. It took some trial and error, but we did it. The problem is we need to start figuring out how to save time. So we need to figure out how to optimize that first jump there. I'm not sure if it's any faster to be jumping, so maybe I should be jumping more often. Maybe I should be jumping more than I am. Maybe jumping is faster than actually running. I'm not entirely sure. Sometimes in video games, though, hopping into the air is a little bit quicker than your normal run. Don't feel like we're particularly moving all that much faster whenever we do a jump during dash mode, though. So who knows if that's true or not, but maybe it is. Although, God, I want to take that L and just be I'll do speed on a different run, and just we worked out the point how to. Well, see, we're not gonna make it on this one since I got stuck in the pipe. See, now we're absolute. Maybe I should just. Well, okay, I'm just gonna take a crack at this one, even though it's already a failed run in terms of time. I'm just gonna make this so sad when I get to the end on this, and this is the perfect run. Here's what we need to figure out. I was just to figure this out, we're gonna need to optimize this time. Where is the place we can jump and immediately turn around? Is it the end of that fern, the end of that red fern? If I turn here, I was gonna hit restart, but let's just figure this out. I think it's just when we just pass, we hit there. Okay, so I think I'm reacting. I think I need to turn. I'm thinking about when I'm turning. So turn at the end. Yeah, turning at the end gives us the perfect time for that. So then we're just gonna have another crack of this, just to get it in our muscle memory. Just keep it going. As I mess up that room, the Scaracuda room. I was gonna say Scaracuda room we have down, but obviously I have nothing down. Everything is a variable that could go wrong at any moment. it's an important lesson in life to know your limits, to know, hey, mistakes can happen. Sometimes you just can't perfect the techniques that Ropey Jungle requires of you. If you think you're bad enough, dude, do it in a single run, which, I'm really willing to admit that I'm not a bad enough dude to do it in a single attempt. But here we are, and we're going to do it. That Dark Souls thing I was talking about earlier, it ended up being pretty apt, because this is a lot like what Dark Souls is like when you're having a rough time against the boss, where you keep trying it, and eventually it starts to feel pretty futile, but eventually you get that win, and it feels good, and then you're like, yeah, Dark Souls is actually pretty good. And I do like Dark Souls a lot. It's got problems. There's a lot of problems with Dark Souls, and especially the community around it. Like, there's a lot of weirdos in the Dark Souls community, a lot of like weirdos who are like, difficulty in video games. It doesn't need an easy mode. Of course it needs an easy mode. Every game should probably have difficulty options. Like this one doesn't, but this game is pretty easy. Like, obviously I'm making this way more difficult for myself than I need. I turned too early, and I knew I did turn too early there. Now that we know where to turn, like this game, it's easy. I've obviously made it harder for myself trying to do what I'm guessing is an expert level thing, because I'm having a rough time with this one. I probably should have checked, how to do this. Well, I guess this is fine. Like, this isn't like, this doesn't ruin, wait, hey, can you stand? Yeah, he can stand there. We're not going to hit him even if he's there. It's fine. It's fine. But, games should have difficulty modes, the Dark Souls, your Sekiro, I think it's Sekiro, your Bloodborne. They should probably have difficulty modes. Resident Evil 4, like that Game Maker's Toolkit guy talked about, like, it's so cool because it doesn't have difficulty, but, I didn't think we landed there. I'm such a fool, and this is gonna, no, I messed it up. Cool, great, I messed it up. The Game Maker's Toolkit guy was like, it's, this game's smart because, it has a dynamic difficulty curve that figures out the difficulty you need, and, that's probably pretty smart because then, like, you can run into it and kind of figure out what you want, but, also putting it in the player's hands of, like, no, I want an easy time, or no, I want a difficult time, is probably superior option, because then you as the player get to say, hey, I want to have a hard time, or no, I need to have an easy time, although, taking it out of the player's hands. Also pretty smart because, in that video, it's been a long time since I've seen that video, so I'm probably going to get his points wrong, but, he says stuff like, taking out the player's hands kind of removes that, like, stigma of, playing on easy, playing on hard, etc. Jump, nope, no jump today. It removes the stigma of, like, I don't want to play on easy so I don't look weak when I play this video game. But, just being able to choose is probably the superior option, because A, it just lets people do what they want, and B, then it's easier to program. You don't have to worry about, this person died to this, so we'll give them, defense against this, although I think in that game it just, like, the amount of enemies decreases and they do less damage or something. I don't remember. I don't really remember how. It's been a while since I played Resident Evil 4, even though it's available on literally every single system. Like, people make fun of Skyrim, and they should make fun of Skyrim. But, Resident Evil 4 is truly on everything. They're gonna port... I wonder if there's a Resident Evil 4 novelization. There must be a Resident Evil 4 novelization. That game's pretty popular. I wonder if Resident Evil 4 is the most... It's probably... Resident Evil 4 probably sold the best of any Resident Evil game, right? Like, with just the sheer amount of consoles it's been ported to, like, it must be, like, if you count all of them added together. Although, if you only consider, first releases or whatever, I wonder which one would be the most popular. Maybe 7, just because it's the newest, and it would have, the brand legacy and hype going into it. So maybe 7 would have the highest amount of sales if you just considered, single game. That worked out cool. Single games sales, but and we hit that. That little bastard. And I was about to say, we're probably gonna mess up. I'm gonna be so sad. We're about to do this, aren't we? We're not gonna make time because we're 10 seconds out. We're too far away. I have no idea how speedrunners do this. So I watched a lot of speedruns, like, preparing for this, like, to, like, figuring out, like, routes and, like, how to do missions and stuff. And I watched the Beard Bros play it on their channel. It was Gerard and Brett, and they played it together, and it was cool. And Chris was in the background. But, like, boy howdy, some of these missions. Not expecting, like, the compound of them being so difficult. Like, I still stand by. You know, we've been doing this for a while, but I'm not actually frustrated at this. I'm still enjoying myself. It's taking longer. Oh my god, it's taking longer than I would like. But I'm not actually like that was frustrating there because I messed up. But the process as a whole is not frustrating me. I'm not like so over it where I'm like, ooh, gamer rage, I'm done. Although, you know, I might be like, I might need to pack it in and call it quits. I may not be talented enough to do this, which will make this really fun because, you know, typically you bash your head against the wall until you win. But, you know, sometime the truly enlightened gamer realizes, hey, I've lost a lot of blood and bashing my head against this wall, it's not going so hot. Maybe I should stop. Maybe I've become the enlightened gamer through this experience. Perhaps I've found enlightenment through Wario Land 4. You hate to see that, and I'm still not sure about the timing on this because, like even if we were to run to the level straight, that's how we need to do that one. And we just run to the exit straight. Like, how are we gonna get out of this damn place in time? Like, if I ignore that money and I just continue to run, we hit this and we'll slide across. I don't think there's a way to speed this up. Oh, maybe you can. I felt like it was a little faster. We'll just barely make it in time if we do it that way. So, do we have enough money? How much money do we have? We are so close to having the amount of money we need. Is there any money I could have gotten in the level that I missed? Maybe if I get more of the coins in the golden line, we'll be fine. Maybe if we ignore if we ignore the silver coins in that metal grate, but that's not or metal grate behind the metal box, like box. Who cares? If we get the silver coins, I was gonna be like, if we ignore that, maybe we'll have time to go after the gold coins. But I mean, we have to go down there to be able to get to the area that gets us the gold, right? Because we're very close to having our amount of money. So either I just didn't get enough coins in that the trail of golden coins on that ending rope on a stick, rope on a track. That's what I was actually looking to say. Jump here, jump. Man, I still can't figure out why I'm not jumping on that. Maybe it's just the way jumping works in this game. Maybe jumping is very like, oh, you need to have your feet firmly planted on the ground, and maybe we're just not on that. I almost called it a flower, which not incorrect, but the Venus Skytrap. It's a good name, and I will refer to it as such. Perhaps the Venus Skytrap. You know. I don't know. Maybe we're just not standing on it long enough. So like the time frame for the jump is very short, is all I'm trying to say. And hot diggity damn, this is taking so long. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would have as rough a time with this as we are having right now. I felt pretty embarrassed in the last episode when it was like, how do I destroy these enemies with the 3 enemies in a row with a ball? Like, I felt pretty bad about that. But, oh boy, that one I was embarrassed about because that one seems like, hey, this doesn't seem like it should be this hard. This one I'm not all that embarrassed about because I am having a lot of difficulty with this. This doesn't seem like I'm just being stupid. So this one feels earned in a way, like, hey, I shouldn't be embarrassed about this. This seems actually pretty difficult. So, I'm not actually all that embarrassed about it, but I do wish we weren't spending as much time on it. But, you know, sometimes you got to accept that, you know, doing a difficult thing in a video game is going to take some time, and I cannot get that stupid jump anymore. It's gone. Now that I'm starting to be like, how do we figure out the later part? It's just not working anymore. I do have to say though, and this is something on video game difficulty since we've just been kind of chatting about it as we've been going through here. You know, I'm gonna take another drink of water. Okay, video game difficulty. Something I find strange about video games. Not strange about video games. Strange about me. Me as a person. I love difficulty and challenge in a video game. I want to be challenged in a video game. There was a point in my life when I started to feel video games were easy. And this is, you know, I've always been like a Nintendo kid. So there was just a point where I was like, oh, I've gotten good at Nintendo games, and I figured them out. And I know that this is a failed run, but I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to keep going. I was like, maybe I can learn some of the other positions I'm messing up. So, you know, I always played a lot of Nintendo games, and eventually I hit an age where the Nintendo games aren't difficult anymore. I think it was I think Wind Waker was probably the last Zelda that I was like, oh, I'm having a rough time with this. There were a few points in Twilight Princess where I got confused and didn't know what to do. But as a whole, like, Twilight Princess was pretty easy for me because, at that point, I'd played every Zelda. So I was like, yeah, I got this. I understand this. So then, Skyward Sword came out and it wasn't all that much more difficult. And, the game's very hand-holdy. But, it has some puzzles in there that can kind of throw you for a loop. And, it hit a point where I was like, well, I want more challenge in my video game. And I just can't get that stupid jump. I want more challenge in my video games. And it hit a point where I was like, well, I'm always going to play on the hardest difficulty I can and, try go through that because I'm a real gamer and I want to play it on hard mode. And I would spend a lot of time, just doing what I'm doing now, beating my head against the wall against things that were clearly too tough for me to beat because I was like, well, I want the game to challenge me. And now, that I've aged and I've wised and I'm more conscious of how much free time I have. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Like, if I'm having a fun time with the game, it doesn't matter if I'm smashing my head against the wall. I've kind of learned that smashing my head against the wall isn't what I want out of video games. I do still enjoy a good challenge. Like I was talking about the Dark Souls, and damn it, I didn't really get into like the Dark Souls game until I was actually starting to wane off of that. Well, I want to play games on the hardest difficulty and et cetera, but I still kind of like, okay, what if we turn here and we turn here so we can come down here and get the gold? Like, this is a failed run on, like, are we able to get across this? And there's no way we're able to get across this in this few seconds. Like, yeah, that was bad. We didn't even get the diamond. So I feel like we go faster maybe if I hold to the left, but I don't think I'll get a lot of coins. But maybe if I get those 2 gold coins, I don't know. All I was saying is I've matured, and honestly, I'm now at a point where, like, as long as I'm having fun with the game, I don't really care too much if the challenge is, going to, like, grind me into dust. Although, some games I do enjoy it still. Like, I played all of Sekiro, I beat all the bosses. I had a great time with it. And, it's a Dark Souls. I don't give a shit. It's same people. It's the same idea. It's different, but it's a Dark Souls. I don't care. You can quote me on that. It's a Bloodborne. It's the sequel to Bloodborne. It's not a sequel to Bloodborne. But I've matured, I guess, and just I can have a good time with the game without being challenged. I just think back to the days like when I was first playing like Zelda's for the first time. Like when I first played Oracle of Ages. Oracle of Ages destroyed me. Like the combat in that game, pretty simple. It's like top-down Zelda. Like, they don't tend to be all that difficult in terms of combat. Even when Seasons tries to up the combat difficulty, but the puzzles in Ages destroyed my brain when I first played that game when it first came out. Like, I could not figure out so many of those. There were bosses that like the boss of the second temple. Like, I got stuck on it for I don't know how long, but these times are relative because I have no idea. I have no frame of reference for how long it was actually. But if the length of time I'm about to give you, I guess, take as like as a scale. Like, if I got stuck on the boss of the second temple for a week, well, that one was more a timing problem than a puzzle, and I was just having problems with timing because I've always been bad at timing and rhythm. The boss of the third temple is the crown temple, crown dungeon, the one with the big stupid cloud boss. I got stuck on that one for like a month or two. Like, I was there in the thick of it. Like, I was like, I cannot beat this boss. I cannot figure out how to beat this damn thing. And this is a failed run. I don't even know. I'm still trying, but I guess I was still trying, and that's why, because never give up. Y'all seen that video of that fisherman, the Japanese fisherman, where he's like, hey, I'm like freezing to death out here, so don't complain. He's nicer than that, but he's like, I'm freezing out here doing my job, so you can do it too. And then it goes, never give up, and it's so good. It's so good. It's just, there needs to be more positive videos like that where people are like, never give up. Everybody should just constantly be screaming, never give up. Just, hey, just go and protest all the bad things and just scream, never give up at people. Although I guess then maybe the bad people will think, oh, we shouldn't give up. Is that what you're saying? And that's when you grab your Wiimote and you flick it at their face. You just go, and it flies out of your wrist, smacks them in the face because you weren't wearing the safety strap, because the safety strap is stupid. I mean, it's not actually stupid. It's a useful accessibility thing. But a lot of people were throwing their Wiimotes at things. It's very interesting to think that that was such a problem. Like, I guess it makes sense when you think about like older people. Like a lot of older people, got into video games through the Nintendo Wii. So they might have just not like had the concept of like, oh, I need, how tight you should be holding a controller, proper gamer etiquette is what I'm saying. Because when I think about like my dad, which that's kind of probably a rough thing. For if he could hear me saying my dad's not a gamer, he'd probably be, rough for him because, he was a gamer before I was born. Like the only reason like I was able to get into video games was because my dad had an NES from when he was in college, and he let me mess around with it when I was a stupid baby, and then would help me play because I was a stupid baby and could not figure out how to play video games. My dad can be a difficult person. Oh my God, we have just gotten into therapy. Hey y'all, welcome to the therapy part of Wario Land. My dad can be a difficult person, but he's done a lot of nice things for me. He got me into video games. Like we'd play computer games. It was fun. We had a fun time playing computer games. A lot of cool games we played then. He helped me play the video games. He got me into it. It was cool. It was good. Thank you, Dad. I love you, Dad. You're not going to see this because I would, if my parents saw my YouTube videos, I would die. It'd be over. It'd be bada bing, bada boom. Goodbye, YouTube. And do we do it? We've done it without defeating any enemies, but we're a few seconds behind. We're at 54 minutes. No. We're gonna give this one more go. Well, okay, wait. We made it here. But how many seconds short were we? Here, let me back up. We were like 3 seconds short. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just said, I don't know where we could have saved any time though. Like, what could have we done faster? Oh, I should have checked how much money we had so I could have figured out which coins we didn't need. Damn it. Okay, this time I'm not gonna go for the gold coins behind the thing. Oh, I don't need to come down here yet. I'm not gonna go for the gold coins behind the metal block and hope that that helps us. Maybe I'm not sure if we'll have the amount of money we need because when we did that previously, we were short like 200 coins, I believe. But we'll give it the old try. Why not? That was so good that it was like, hey, it's time to do therapy. Then all of a sudden, I guess I had distracted myself enough from the game, but just enough that I was still playing. I have a lot to thank for me parentals. My dad got me into video games. He had the NES. We didn't have a lot of money, so if it weren't for that, like I wasn't able to get a video game console of my own until that Best Buy commercial I was in, which is on my YouTube channel. Allowed me to I was gonna say allowed me to afford a thing like I purchased it, but I mean like the payment from that is god damn it, that would have been if I hit that. How much money do I have? If I had hit the diamond, that would have been it. Okay. From doing that, they gave us, they paid me or whatever, but then Best Buy also gave me an N64, which allowed me to have new video games, so I could stop playing the NES and looking longingly at Super Nintendos at toy stores and stuff. And my parents also, I guess, used some of that money. I remember talking to my mom about it at one point. She said that they used some of it on bills because we had like no money. It was bad. I mean, we could still afford a house because it was the early '90s, and that was just how shit worked. People could just afford houses back then. Isn't that wild? But my mom was like, oh, we used some of it to, probably most of it, to purchase, not purchase, because it wasn't, I was like one commercial I was in and that like took like 2 days, like a day to record, less than a day to record, and a dude came over to our house for like 2 hours just to talk to me to like get an idea for the thing. So it wasn't like, probably wasn't like a giant payout. I remember my mom saying like $500 at one point, but I don't know if, that information is so old at this point that I have no idea if that's true, something I made up and just it's stuck in my brain as the truth, or, I misheard something, who knows. But, my parents also used that to get me a Game Boy Color because I had really wanted a Game Boy. I wanted a Game Boy so bad to the point where we used to, there's like little kid tools where you can like It's like a pan where you can like sift sand and stuff. You take it to the beach, and I took one of those and put a bouncy ball in there, and then I think I covered it with something. I think it was like a plastic wrap, and I bounced it around, and I was like, I sure do love this Game Boy you guys got me. Like that was going to fool them into thinking I have a Game Boy to make them buy me a game. Kids are like wildly creative and smart, but also stupid in the best ways. Kids are great, and by that I mean I'm great. I'm the best. But no, we got the Game Boy, and with the Game Boy Color, I got Pokemon Blue version and Wario Land 2. So I got both of the two thing. I nailed it in one. Like, what video games do you want? Pokemon Blue, because I've seen War Turtle at school, so I want the Pokemon, and Pokemon's hot because it's the late 90s, and also I want Wario, because just look at this exquisite specimen of a man. Of course, I don't remember how old I was at the time. 4, 5, 6, who knows? I missed the diamond again. That's a shame. I need to figure out how to get that damn diamond. However young I was, to see Wario and go, that one, I want that one. Like, it was the Game Boy Color, so like, there wasn't a Game Boy Color Mario game. Like, I guess there was Super Mario Deluxe. I don't remember if that was out yet. I didn't like look up like timelines for this or anything. I always forget like the exact order of events for these kinds of things. But it's the possibility of me being like, oh well, I want the Mario and there's a Wario there. I'm not sure if that happened. I'm pretty sure I just saw Wario and was like, yeah, I want that one. Just the way that kids do sometimes. Like, I was aware of Mario because my dad had Super Mario 1 and 3. Did he have 3 or did he have 2? He might have had 2. My uncle had some games, and then my godfather had some games, so we'd always trade them around. And I could never remember which ones we had because at some point my mom sold the NES in a garage sale. Shortly after I got my N64, I believe, because she was like, oh, well, you have the new Nintendo, you don't need the old one. Which didn't really bother me until I got older. We just used to do that. Sometimes you would just you would sell your stuff in a garage sale or donate it to charity, and that was just how it went. We hit the money. We did it. We're good. We did it. Yes. Fuck. We're not even done with the recording. We've been an hour into the recording, and we're just getting to the second level. But hey, y'all, we're back. We're back in business. It's time to play more Wario Land.